Hey, right on, there we are. Look, it's me, John Park, and this is John Park's Workshop. I bet some of you just tuned into the cool mini Thursday edition of Ask an Engineer. That was fun to have Mr. Lady Ada and Lady Ada get on and do some fun midday stuff there that we're not used to seeing. So here we are, though this is the regular time for this show. So I'd love to, again, thank people who came out last night for the unboxing of AdaBox 11. We've still got a bit of AdaBox 11 fever around here. And the PyPortal projects, they just keep coming. It's been exciting to see stuff that people are working on online as well. So please keep sending in those projects. We love seeing stuff and share them on social media. Super excellent. In fact, I have a PyPortal project for you today. But before we get to that, let's take care of some other stuff, shall we? First of all, I want to let you know that not only did PT and Lady Ada have a coupon code for you, but I have a coupon code for you. I don't think you can combine them, so just pick one, whichever one you like. Mine's short and easy to remember. It's Floofy. Floofy is going to get you 10% off in the Adafruit store today, so go get some cool stuff. Huh? How about that? That is good for anything you want to get in the store. Go check out new products. That was a good tip I saw that the gang just gave in the last show there, which is go to adafruit.com/new, and that will tell you what is available that is hot off the presses here at Adafruit. Let's see, just checking out what's going on over on YouTube. Did someone say what's going on? Is the show not coming out? We had, yeah, you know what? The title of the mini show matches my show. Yeah, that's a little difficult, I think, for YouTube to change quickly. We also seem to have an issue with Facebook not picking up. In fact, I'm going to go look real quick and see, did Facebook ever get the message? No, Facebook doesn't know that we're broadcasting this. So hopefully you all are able to see this on some channel or another. Well, let's see what's going on. Is YouTube not showing it? Let me see. Can I refresh that? YouTube, are you playing? What is going on? No, that's showing the last show. Huh. Let's get to the bottom of this. Yeah, sure enough, that my YouTube stream looks like it's playing the last show that we had, so we've definitely confused the system. So we look good on Twitch, huh, Mr. Certainly? Okay, that's good. Show of hands, anyone in the chat over on Discord that can see this live stream happening on YouTube, that would be good to know, because I'm seeing the previous show up. I'm going to actually back out and go to the Adafruit page on YouTube. Click on the link here. Oh, there I am. Okay, good. Yeah, I think I just had an old link up. Hello, hey Yannick, how you doing? All right. I think we're there. I think we're actually doing this. I think the show is happening. So I'm back. I think you were all here, but I got confused for a moment. So I mentioned the coupon code for the day, which is 10% off if you use Floofy. And you might be wondering, well, what should I get? Well, all this talk of stemma connectors had me wondering, what have I got that uses the stemma connector that might be useful with some things like the Trellis that has the Trellis M4 has a stemma port on it, or the PyPortal, which has a Trellis port on it. And I saw this guy right here, the Stemma Lux Light Sensor, which uses the TSL2561. I have one right here. And as you can see, this has the 4-pin or 4-conductor stemma connection on it. So I haven't programmed this to do anything yet. I have a Trellis M4 sitting here, though, And actually, it's got Flappy Bird code on it from Davis Dells. But this is the connector. This is one of our Stemma 4-pin connectors that we have. And you can see it's plugged very easily right back into there. Let me get that USB out of the way. You can see where that plugs in right there. And so you can simply plug in this little light sensor. And now you'll have an external light sensor that you could use for some kind of a project. And this is a pretty fancy one. This one separates out some different bands. So I know it does infrared as well as visible spectrum and a couple of other fancy things that it does. So if you're looking for something that's a little more sophisticated than just a simple photo sensor, a photo cell, you might look at using this. And since it's got that Stemma connector, it's really easy to plug into any of your Stemma capable boards. We also have Stemma to, look, here's one right now. This is a Stemma to male conductor header pins. We have one that goes out to alligator clips. I don't think I have one around right here. And you can see this actually also uses for alligator clip connections if you want to use those, or you can go ahead and connect that with the Stemma wires to pretty much anything. So that's my product of the day. In fact, here, let me pull up. This is the product page for it. Digital Lux light sensor. Got this cool PCB silk screen art by Phil B. And I wanted to see, was there technical details? Dynamic range 0.1 to 40,000 lux. So that's quite a range that you can use, and it's an I2C interface that you're using with that. So that is the product of the day. So if you're interested in getting that, you can go get it with a discount with our coupon code FLOOFY. So check it out in the store. All right, well, I think that can bring us to this. It's the Make Code Minute, and for the Make Code Minute today, what I wanted to show you is how to use the accelerometer that's built onto the Circuit Playground Express to change the color of the NeoPixel LEDs on your Circuit Playground Express. Now, the way I'm going to do this, if you watch, as I tilt, I'm going essentially through the entire rainbow of colors and back. It'll go dark when we go to green because of my green screen there, and back to yellow. And the thing that I thought was interesting about this is check out how this is done with essentially one really simple block of code inside of Make Code. So looking at this block, this is a forever block, and what's inside it is set all pixels to, and then we're using the hue, saturation, and value block. But where the hue should be, I'm using the map block, which is a math block that takes some value and maps its range to another range. And there, I'm setting the rotation degrees in pitch from a low of -70 to a high of 70, and that's just this comfortable range I wanted to use for tilting the sensor. And I'm mapping that from 0 to 255, and 0 to 255 are the settings of the hue color wheel. And so you can see as I'm rotating to different values of that pitch, it is just very simply and elegantly and smoothly mapping our color through the hue color wheel. And so that is how you can use the pitch of the accelerometer on the Circuit Playground Express inside of Make Code to adjust the colors on your NeoPixels. Can you believe you can do that much with just essentially one block? Two, really, because of our forever loop, but really just one block of code. And a little extra bonus tip I actually wanted to show. Let me come back into Make Code here. You'll notice I have this other block that I was using with the simulator in order to just check out what, whoops, where'd that go? Did I just blow it away? Uh-oh, let's see if undo will work in this case. Yay. This console log value X to rotation on roll. Let me change that to rotation on pitch. So what this will allow me to do is when I go to this show console simulator, I'm going to see a graph, and as I tilt the virtual simulator Circuit Playground Express that's over here on the left, I'm seeing what range I should expect when I make similar motions with the real world one. And so this shows me that as I tip it to the far left, I'm getting about positive 90 degrees, and to the far right, about negative 90 degrees. So that's what led me to start out with roughly those values, and then I tuned them a bit once I had it onto the real device. But that can be nice because you'll notice if I switch this instead to be roll and go back to the simulator, this actually sits at a 0, I think. Is that right? No, it's sitting at 180 when it's flat. And tipping it down goes to negative 180. And tipping it all the way forward, I think that's closer to 0, right? Oh, what's it saying? X is 88 to... Yeah, okay, so there's a 0 point right there, right? Where that's interesting. It just flips, so there's kind of a flip right there. So anyway, if you're going crazy with your values as you're trying it on your real device, you might want to look at the simulator because it can help you figure out an issue like this. And I think it's possible on the Windows version of the app. There's actually a downloadable app from Microsoft. I think it's possible on that one to see the values of the real device plugged in. It just doesn't work on the web version of it. I've only used that once to check, I think, some light settings that I wasn't sure about. So anyway, I find that really helpful to be able to log to the console, even though I'm only just using the virtual one. In this case, that gives me at least a good starting point to figure out the values that I'm going to change to. All right, so let's get to our project build of the week. So last week we looked at the NASA image viewer, and we have another image project this week along a similar line. And this one, however, instead of focused on outer space, is focused on floofy, cute animals right here on this, our Earth. So let's jump over to the bench cam here. Actually, we'll go full view on that. Let me run over there. And you can see we've got a cute kitten right now displaying on the screen. I'll flip. Oh, this guy's upside down because he's in a sink. I thought my image was flipped, but no. So here's my PyPortal, and it's displaying this cute little kitty. Oh, and it just changed right there. Did you see that? Just switched out to a new kitten. I believe I've set this to every 30 seconds right now. So I'll hold this here for a moment, and we'll look and see if it changes out. This project is really simple. In fact, it's simpler than the NASA one because we don't require the use of any API keys to go and request these images. So what we've done is we've found actually 3 different cute animal image services. There's a cat one, there's a dog one, and there's a fox one. And we have those URLs inside of the code for this, which we'll look at in a moment. And by selecting one of them, in this case, this cat API, by going to the website, we, with the PyPortal fetch command, will retrieve a JSON file, and in that JSON file is possibly many different key value pairs, but there's just one that we care about, which is the image. And that gives us a path to a JPEG image. Yeah, you saw it change out again. This time it's a pile of kittens. Come on, this is too cute, I can't take it. So we then take that path to the image file, which is a JPEG, and since the PyPortal doesn't display, or we don't try to decompress JPEGs because that takes a lot of processing power, instead on the back end we're going to forward that URL of that JPEG over to the Adafruit IO image conversion service, where the command tells it to switch that from a JPEG to a BMP file, a rastered bitmap file, with a 16-bit color depth and 320 by 240 pixel size. And then we send that image back here to the Wi-Fi chip, the ESP32, which then hands it over to the main processor, the ATSAMD51, and it stores a cached version of that BMP file onto the flash. We have 8 megabytes of flash here. And these images weigh in at usually 120 K, so they're pretty darn small. So that is our cat one, and then on this one, oh, here's another cat one I've got right now. I love this guy. This guy, I've said this before, he looks like he was supposed to send you on a side quest in a game of Dungeons and Dragons, but he can't remember what the quest is supposed to be. He looks very confused, like he was sleeping. Oops. Had this dog sneak in here. I think there's a cat up above. So one thing is we're not really detecting the image size, and the files that are served up on this cat image server are of all kinds of different dimensions and aspect ratios. So sometimes you're going to cut into the main image. I see a little bit of a paw up here, and then there's a poor chihuahua or something in this crate. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to unplug this from USB power, and let's plug it into the computer over here, and then we'll take a look at the code for running this this code, which we're calling the Cutefuzz.py. So this is done in CircuitPython. And there we go. Plug this in. And P3HI, how do I load another animal? I don't like cats. Well, that's okay, man. Actually, you're going to see in the code here in a second, we've got choices. So don't fret if cats aren't your thing. Let's try to get a little overhead view here as well. And I'm going to move this. 1 second while I adjust this image, and I'm going to uncrop this a little bit too. There we go. Okay, more cats. Sorry, man. All right, so now I'm going to actually interrupt that for a moment, and let's look over here in Moo. So let me find that Moo session and zoom this up a bit more so you can see it. Okay, so what's going on here? We're importing the time library because we're going to be pausing a certain amount of time when we hold the image on screen. We're importing board, which is all of the different definitions for the PyPortal board itself. And then we're importing the PyPortal library. You can ignore this. This was something I was trying just to turn off the status LED, and that's not in the regular code. So here we have our choices that just come in this project. And I just published a Learn guide on this, so you can check it out. Maybe we'll have a look at that in a moment. So what I can do is I'm going to comment out in CircuitPython or Python of any stripe. That's a # to comment out a line. And instead, let's uncomment this Fox line. So here we can see what it's going to do is it's going to make a query to https://randomfox.ca/floof. Hey, there's a coincidence. So let's pretend we're the PyPortal and do that ourselves. So let's hop over to our Firefox session, coincidentally. And here, actually, I've already loaded one in. So this is going to that address. It pulls in a random JPEG. So this is 52.jpg is the name of some particular Fox image. This is what the JSON file looks like in a beautified mode. Here is what it looks like in raw data, and we can also make it a little prettier so that it gives us the formatting. And I can make that larger so you can read it. There you go. So these are the two key value pairs that show up in this JSON file. There's image is a key, and it has a value of this URL that terminates in 52.jpg. And then there's also this link, which we're not using, and I think that's what web pages use to see that image, or if you're sharing the link, something like that. But this is what we care about, this 52.jpg. And so if I go ahead and paste that into my browser and resolve it, there we go. We get this super cool blue, silvery winter fox image. So going back to our Moo session, let me hide that Firefox there. A lot of foxes, it's getting confusing. You can see this is how we specified the variable for the data source, is where we're going to go and look, and the image location, which is the name of the key that we're going to look for in the JSON file. So then the next thing that happens here is our working directory. We set the current working directory to be the main root level of the PyPortal, and that's where we're going to go. And internally, it's going to go and find the or save the cache.bmp file, and then draw that cache.bmp file, as well as the location of our background when we first boot up, which is our PyPortal Blinka logo. So looking here, we instantiate the PyPortal. This is the constructor where we use the PyPortal object, which we had imported up here in the library. So we imported that library as PyPortal. So now we're specifying the URL where it's going to go when we fetch things is the data source, which is this Fox data source. The status neopixel we set to the neopixel that's built on board. The default background is called out. That's the Blinka image. And then the image JSON path is the image location, which we specified as this key named image. And then the image resize, this is the command, part of the command that we're sending out to Adafruit IO, is 320 by 240. And then the position is the upper left corner of the image is at the upper left corner of the screen, which is 0, 0. So then when that image goes off and is brought back in, or rather when we get to the main part of the loop, sorry, what we do is we try to send the PyPortal fetch command, and when we get a response, it will have populated the screen with that BMP file. If something goes wrong, then we send an error message, some error occurred, retrying, and then it tries again. And then we start a countdown. So we stamp the current time, and then we wait for that to reach. In this case, I have it set to 30 seconds. I think by default this is set to 5 minutes. So we're just, for convenience, multiplying 60 seconds. This is why this says 5 times 60. And I had that down here at 0.5. And, oh, do we have this set to also change when you touch the screen? I didn't even notice that before. If PyPortal touch screen touch point break. Oh, is that going to stop it from updating? I don't know. Someone tell me. Quick, to the Discord. What's supposed to happen if PyPortal touch screen touch point? All right, so there. If I touch that, I don't know if that, I can check the status light too. Is that trying to download one? Mine goes so fast that it might be hard to differentiate between me interrupting the 30 seconds. Oh, it looks like it's restarted. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Someone tell me. I'm checking the Discord right now. What say you, Discord? Andy Calloway is typing. I'm counting on you, Andy, or Dastels. Come on, someone. What's that supposed to do? I really don't know. So let me show an image of it. Oh, you weren't seeing that. I'm so sorry. Let's go back to the PyPortal. Oh, there it is. All right, and so I'm going to actually hit the restart or the reset button so you can see this from the beginning. Now we have, you'll see this message that using the file system as a writable cache. This is risky behavior. Back up your files, your files, your files, your files. Things we do, and you'll see this in the tutorial, is we save a boot.py file, which allows the file system to be writable while it's running so that we can bring in those cached images. Normally we don't want the file system to be writable while it's running so you don't screw things up, but we need to allow it in this case, so that's why you'll see that somewhat scary looking warning. Okay, so right now it should be getting online, and you can sometimes tell by the status lights what they're doing. So it just got online. Oh, and it showed us this sad, grumpy-ish looking cat. So what I want to do is I'm going to go back over to my Moo, and since I uncommented the Fox code, I'm resaving. So you can see there when I resaved, it's now restarting. It's trying to connect to my access point. It's showing our PyPortal Blinka logo. It takes it on about 20 seconds or so usually to connect to my Wi-Fi access point that I have here in the workshop. A little longer inside, in fact. But inside I have like a more complicated Orbi, is that what it's called? Yeah, Orbi setup with like multiple routers. I think that may be a little harder for it to connect to. And hey, look, there we have foxes. So P3 High over in the chat. How you like that? Different animal. We have choices, it is true. And we also have these Shibas, which are these super cute, floofy dogs from Japan. So what I'm going to do right now, oh, let's try the, does touching the screen do anything? I don't know what that's supposed to do. So I just hit save, having uncommented the Shiba.online API, which brings in these Shiba Inu dogs. And again, sorry, you'll have to wait through my little save. By the way, while I'm thinking of it, if you look on the side, this side here, these are on the PyPortal 2 of the JST ports for plugging in things like NeoPixels, and this middle one is the Stemma port that we could use to connect something with 4 pins like our I2C temperature sensor or light sensor that we looked at earlier. All right, so there's a Shiba, and what's he got? Some other dogs there. Equal opportunity, lots of dogs. So as you can probably imagine, any API that serves up images, you could probably very easily switch out to be adapted in this sketch. So we're not requiring any API keys to use them. So this is a simpler one than the NASA one, like I mentioned. But that means that if you can find just general purpose websites that have an API that serves up a JSON file that gives you a path to a JPEG, then you can make your own random image viewer, which is pretty darn cool and a very nice use, oh, there's another cute dog, of the PyPortal and its gorgeous display. So that is our project of the week. Let me know. I'm going to head back over to the Discord chat here. Let's see what people are saying about how that touchscreen is supposed to work. Let's see, just breaks out of the second while loop before the 30 seconds are up. Thank you, C. Grover. Yeah, so I guess if you get impatient, mine are so, I think 30 seconds is on the limits of how quickly this thing is going to change out anyway, just because it takes time to go make the query for the image to get processed and brought back down. But if you have this set to 5 minutes and you have an image on there that you're not particularly loving, you should be able to touch the touch screen, break out of that 5-minute loop, and then get the process started again. And within probably 10, 20 seconds, you'll have a new image instead of the full 5 minutes. Let's see, a question we have from AT Makers Bill. Pretty please, walk folks through how to undo that mistake when the PC can't write to the CircuitPy drive. It's awful hard to fix if you don't know how. Enabling writing in Flash means PC can't write to the CircuitPy drive. If you don't give some mechanism to get back into that, you can be screwed. Opening the REPL and wiping the file system is the only fix I know of. That's a good question. I know that we've handled that before in the forums, and it might be in our troubleshooting section, so I'm not going to attempt to make up a response right now because I can't remember. I haven't had to do it in a while, but we do have a few ways of dealing with different seeming lockups of the file system. Dan Halbert is a super expert on this. I notice he seems to handle a lot of the first response on those. So really, forums.adafruit.com. Just search for PyPortal or search in the AdaBox forums where a lot of these have been handled. And it might be in our troubleshooting section. Let me go and look there right now. So let me bring you back to Firefox here and an actual Fox. And let's see, this is how I get there. It's not super direct, but if we go to the PyPortal for AdaBox, whoops, oh, I want to be in Learn, sorry about that. Let's see, pretty much any of these will get us there. Oh, his won't. All right, let's do, I want the main PyPortal guide. There it is. So if you go to the main PyPortal guide, this hardware FAQ, one thing people have been having questions about if you have a white screen upon startup. It seems like during shipping, sometimes these little connectors, or even just one of them, will rattle loose enough that the ribbon cable that connects the display to the board is unseated, and you'll get a weird display or a white display. So you can just click down these two black clamps at the same time, and it'll latch it back into place. Let's see. No, that doesn't. Updating the firmware. Huh. I thought we did have this here. All right. Well, Bill, I'll look into that. And if anyone knows who's on the chat right now, yeah, Dan H sent instructions. No worries, AT Makers, Bill. This is an important one because since we've got the file system on there and you can write to it, what you're saying is you had problems because you were attempting to write simultaneously from your PC and from the presumably something coming in over the ESP32. I'm guessing. Don't do that. Be careful. And so you might need to remove that boot.py or just hide it in another directory before you go and save to it again. That is good advice. Thank you so much. So we'll continue to add stuff like that to the FAQ as we find issues and fix issues with it. So, all right. Well, I think, let me pull back our cute floofy images because I think that's why we're here. Yeah, look at that guy, huh? And look, there's another one. It's been very fun doing these PyPortal projects. I'm going to do a couple more involving images. I think I'll do one for our new products of the week, which should be fun, so you can see those show up, as well as some other services like maybe Thingiverse, Maker, or Hackstry.io. But now it's in your hands. The PyPortal is out there. We've got thousands of them out there in the world now, at least 4,000 and a few hundred more, because we had 4,000 AdaBoxes go out. So I hope you're enjoying playing with your AdaBox if you got it, or your PyPortal. If you haven't, I think you can buy AdaBox 11 now, the non-subscription version, in the store. We might still be out of stock on just the PyPortals, but it is a pretty good value because you get the PyPortal along with the stand and a very nice 2-meter long cable. So go check that out if you're interested in playing along, and please share all the great stuff you're doing. Someone asks over on YouTube, can we also do picks from a specific subject? Which APIs do picks? That's a really good question. The best thing I've found is I've Googled things like fun APIs for developers, and I've come up with some really cool lists, or fun image APIs. Google things like that. I found some answers on Reddit where people have shown some examples of fun APIs to go and look at, where you can just find like amazing cupcakes or rock climbing photos or whatever it is. If someone has done an API out there specific to what you're interested in, awesome. There may also be ways to do things like including search through something like Flickr. I'm not sure what their API looks like, but it's a ripe territory to go out and find things. So try doing a little Googling on APIs for images with JSON file, and those will be pretty simple, I think, to plug into this project. So here is the project itself, as a matter of fact. Let's go back to, excuse me, Explore and Learn. And, oh, cool, Liz Clark has just posted Twin Peaks Light Reactive Picture Frame. That looks really cool. So this is going to use let me show you this. This is really cool. This uses, as you can see, oh, nice dog butt. Let's get past that one. If you can see the GIF up here, this is changing out this image based on a light reaction. Hi, Liz. All right, we're doing a show within a show here. Let's go to, she goes through a very nice and complete build. And let's get to, there you can see it. A light reaction going to a ghost type of image. Very cool. So more PyPortal projects coming. This is the project of the week, and so here's the Learn Guide if you want to check it out. This will take you through installing CircuitPython, updating your PyPortal with the latest firmware, and then getting your secrets file set up to get on the internet, and then actually coding it with the Cutefuzz image viewer software, as well as setting that bootpy file where you need it. Shows you what files to drag over, which libraries should have, and there is the code. So that is it. That is all the cuteness that you can stand. If you want more, set up your own PyPortal Cutefuzz image viewer. And that is all. I'll see you next week for Adafruit Industries. This has been John Park's Workshop. Bye, everyone.